it is I, Sly, accompanied by 97 Johnny Boy, and today we are going to be bringing to you our review and predictions of Marvel's Phase 4 movies and Disney Plus TV shows. So, without further ado, John, how are you doing?
Doing great, man. I am just I'm been blasted with San Diego Comic-Con news. There's just so many new things announced and brains are stirring. There has to be fans out here like you and me who are just been bedazzled because of all this news and potential movies and film. It's crazy. I'm really excited about this.
I'm glad to hear that. I went crazy after I saw what they had slated. You're right. Wow.
Yeah. But we went ahead and we took a little look into all the movies and the shows that they have listed for us for the next couple years, and we broke it down. We got some genuine research. We're gonna tell you a little bit about these comic book heroes and maybe a little bit about the films that they've announced so far. But we're gonna go closest. So our closest release is gonna be, what is that, Sly?
Black Widow.
All right, yeah. So but I thought she's dead. What happened? They bringing her back?
Great question, my friend.
They're bringing her back?
Technically, Black Widow is going to be a film taking place after the events of Civil War, but before Infinity War. So it is very likely that we may have a special appearance from someone per se, Captain America or Tony Stark, Iron Man. Now, is it likely? Maybe not. But the point is, technically, nobody's dead yet. And also, they have confirmed that they are going to do flashback scenes of what happened in Budapest with Clint Barton. So we finally know what the fuck that conversation of theirs is about.
Finally. A little exposition would be nice. But our Captain America and Iron Man, do they still have contracts at all?
They do not.
Okay, so yeah, they probably won't be in this then. Because at the time, after the Civil War, the Accords, the Avengers are pretty much disbanded. But who knows? You know, anything is really possible and stuff like that. But yeah, so they have announced a villain as well, which I'm really excited about. I actually really like this villain. He was
his year.
Yes, he actually was a little bit in Spider-Man on PS4. Taskmaster, yo, really excited about him. I don't know which version though, because as far as I know, there's a couple versions. Taskmaster, literally just Taskmaster 1, 2, 3. Like kind of hands down the role, kind of like Ronin, which you and I have discussed before. But so if you guys don't know who Taskmaster is, he kind of has photographic reflexes. So say he sees a dope ass maneuver that someone does, like maybe like a ninja or something, backflip, handspring kind of thing like that, he's able to just do the exact same thing. But kind of the catch with this is he's not able to, like, say like Captain America lifts up and throws a fucking car. He can't do that because he can't replicate superhuman strength and whatnot. But I think Taskmaster is really interesting. I'm really excited to see him and Black Widow kind of go at it. But so at the same time, we have David Harbour, who has been casted, right?
Red Guardian.
The Red Guardian. So, I kind of had to do some research here, and apparently there are just many Red Guardians. There's a few of them. We're looking at Alexei Shokotov.
Yes.
Probably butchering that a little bit. But, yeah, I looked into him a little bit. Interesting. Kind of did some flight tests and stuff like that for the KGB and stuff. But, yo, he's like the Russian version of Captain America.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the thing with Captain America is really interesting to see him like in, I guess in the modern America is like he was asleep for so long, but Red Guardian, he's probably going to be awake and moving around and whatnot. So is he just going to be like just a little bit older, or I wonder if he's just doesn't age or what? Because
that's a good question.
Unless it's going to be like, I was hoping they'd be kind of like from the 40s or 50s kind of thing like that. Because I don't know when the KGB necessarily is disbanded in the MCU. If they're like, oh, they've always been around, kind of like a Hydra thing. But I guess we'll see which era that Red Guardian's from. I'm kind of hoping he's a little older, maybe from the 80s or something. So we get a little bit of Cold War-esque stuff. Because I personally really enjoy that stuff. But you have any expectations, or you have anything else for Black Widow?
I know for a fact Yelena, Florence Pugh is going to be playing. She's going to be playing one of the other Black Widows, technically. Her character is Yelena, I'm wondering how much backstory they're going to go into with that. So maybe we'll get to see some dynamic between the two of them. But I am curious, like you, because we know that Black Widow was, Romanoff was trained by the Russians. She was KGB, wasn't she?
I'm not sure if she was. She might. I totally forgot that she was raised in a ballet assassin school.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is interesting. Maybe that she'll have some sort of relationship, or not like romantically, but some sort of relationship with Red Guardian, from the past, and it may rise up again. And I'm kind of hoping that it's gonna be like, we gotta work together. I know we don't see eye to eye, but we gotta take out Taskmaster. Yeah.
Comic books did make her one time the Red Guardian's ex-wife.
Really? That's so interesting.
Yes, so there is possible that they could go with that dynamic. It's also, I'm really hoping for a lot of development with Taskmaster. I know they've had, what do you call it? Did I say Taskmaster and her married?
No, you said Red Guardian.
Okay, good. Yeah, thank you. Taskmaster, I hope they do some improvements. I don't know if you've seen the concept art, but they've shown
I have.
shield.
His armor looks like, really robotic in a sense, or cybernetic.
It does. I'm hoping that they fix a few things, and I'm wondering if by the end of the film, maybe he'll get his energy sword, because that thing's pretty badass. But if not, I'm really pleased with the way the shield looks, at least, and I hope the mask gets a little bit of a change. It looks a little too ski mask.
If you kind of see it, you're like, that looks like a random soldier, but like, I guess Taskmaster, yeah. But like, there's a lot of designs you could go with, but I'm sure they might change it up a little bit. But that is coming out 2020, right?
Yes, 2020, May 1st.
May 1st already, so be ready for some more Romanoff and fucking Red Guardian. I'm really excited for some more David Harbour. I love him. So,
heck yeah.
All right, our next one we have is the goddamn Eternals.
Yes.
Boy, I went through a few page links looking for some info about these guys, and yo, these dudes step up. They're pretty high up there. So, while looking at these, so Sly, what can you tell us about the movie? Because you said you looked up quite a bit about that.
I don't know enough. I had the same difficulties as you. I had to go through countless websites. At the same time, I will admit they have a pretty A-list cast.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie,
and Salma Hayek.
Oh, I did not even see that she was in it. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're right. That's already like a couple hundred million.
Oh yeah, these guys.
Yeah.
These guys sound like the Inhumans, but like off like another level above that. Like, I think they have 8 Eternals casted, right?
Yes, 8 Eternals.
So, which sounds like a lot of them, but I think they're missing a few as well. Like, I think there's just a bunch of Eternals. But
yes.
Yeah, I did some research here. Apparently, in a sense, they're connected to like Greek mythology quite a bit. Like, the main character Athena will be played by Angelina Jolie. It was sent by like Athena. There's another character named Icarus. He's the prime Eternal based off Icarus, as well as Ajax, who actually fought in the Trojan War. Like, there's so many interesting characters here, and just interesting like kind of tie-ins to mythology and whatnot, which I really enjoy. But yeah, so the Eternals were sent by the Celestials to defend humans from deviants. Do you know of any deviants in the MCU as of yet?
I do not. No, that's the thing.
Apparently, I looked it up, and apparently Thanos has the deviant gene. Which...
Well, aside from him, I thought you were referencing up. Yes, there's a possibility that they may bring in either baby Thanos in this film, which would be a pretty good storyline, but it's kind of another one of those Black Widow things. It's like, wait a second, when is this taking place? But yes, yeah, he technically does have the deviant gene, and I mean, comic book wise, I remember his mother wanted to kill him as soon as he was born.
Oh boy. So, I don't know who else has the deviant gene from comic books, but this movie seems pretty out there. Like, it's a biggin. It's a biggin, out in space. So you gotta think probably a big villain for this. I'm not sure who they'll have as a villain, but pretty big villains and whatnot. But I was looking at it, and apparently we have seen a few Celestials so far in the MCU. Apparently Ego was a Celestial, and
Yes.
which means that Star-Lord's what, half Celestial then?
Yes, but due to the events of Guardians of the Galaxy 2, he doesn't really carry that.
Right.
I guess you could call it ability, or his gene is kind of just regular now. It's weird. And then we have seen the severed head for Nowhere.
Exactly, that one as
And
well.
then Isan the Searcher was the one that wielded the Power Stone that Guardians of the Galaxy 1, the Collector.
Yeah, which
displayed.
they had I think an image or a little. They referenced it for sure there. But yeah, Celestials, they use the Infinity Stones like you just said as well. But yeah, we have some main Eternals, Icarus. Fairly sure that one's going to show up as well as Athena. As you said, Ajax will be played by
Salma Hayek.
That's amazing. Interesting, yeah. There's a manipulator in the Unimind as well. Apparently, they're pretty big villains, I guess, in the Eternal kind of comic books area. But yeah, I just did not know anything about these guys. But yeah, so I downloaded Marvel Ultimate. I'm actually gonna start up Jack Kirby's Eternals. I'm actually gonna be reading a lot more into some of these Eternals because I'm completely blind. Big blind spot for me, and apparently for a lot of other people because. Like, no one knows shit. You look up...
No one knows anything.
Yeah, no one knows anything except for Wikipedia, and they want to talk about, like, writer and illustrator, which is fine and all, but, like, I want to get into the lore, you know?
Yeah, I want the deets.
Yeah, so that one
What
is...
I'm curious is whether we'll see the demise of the Celestials.
Right, maybe the Snap could be, you know, involved with, as well with them, but it could be, like, kind of like Greek gods, you know, taken away and defeating the Titans, kind of thing like that. That would be interesting.
I was under the assumption that this film was taking place a long time ago.
I have no idea. These guys are immortal, so anytime, yeah, these guys are immortal, so it could be taking place. It might show it, you know, flashback sequence or beginning of the film, kind of thing like that, and then rest plays out. But that'd be really interesting to see a war between Celestials and Eternals. But or in how that relationship plays out. But yeah, the Eternal is coming in 2020. And another one, which you kind of informed me out a little bit, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Yo, all right, what do you know about this film, Sly?
Well, they're bringing back most likely a villain that the MCU has referenced before in Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, they teased it, and they robbed us of Iron Man being involved in it, which would have been awesome. Don't get me wrong.
It would have been
But
great.
At the same time, I do appreciate them having Shang-Chi with him. That is the Mandarin, the actual real one this time. And if I'm not mistaken, the Mandarin collects the rings and they endow him with some sort of abilities.
Right, it's like
It's a loose interpretation.
yeah, it's like an Infinity Gauntlet almost. So like he wears these 10 rings. That's what the Legend of the 10 Rings is. He wears these 10 rings, and each ring has a power. So maybe the film could be about him collecting his rings, or you know, Shang-Chi fighting him off to get rid of those rings. Yeah, really interested in this because Shang-Chi apparently he is just the undisputed master of Kung Fu. He kind of has the Wonder Woman ability, you know, bracers, can deflect bullets and stuff like that, and kind of has the same thing with like Iron Fist with his centering his chi, just really good about that. But yeah, so what is interesting that the Mandarin might be Shang-Chi's father in this interpretation because in comic, kind of like the original origins of Shang-Chi is that his father was Fu Manchu, or Lord Fu Manchu,
yes.
who is a bit iffy nowadays, coming out in what,
A little bit racy is the thing.
Yeah,
so they were
big,
like,
big,
you
big
know
time.
what? We're gonna go with Zhengzhou, I think. But then they were like, you know what? Maybe we'll go with Mandarin.
Yeah, but they also don't have the rights to Fu Manchu as well, so that's interesting. So I'm curious if we could see, yeah, definitely Mandarin. That's confirmed as well. Obviously, the 10 rings. We're gonna finally get the 10 rings we've been expecting, and the Mandarin we've always wanted. Sorry, Ben Kingsley, love you, buddy, but yeah.
I'm also curious about
up?
their casting of Aquafina, the comedian. I think is she
The
comedian
Aquafina.
or a rapper? They casted Aquafina
Really?
for an unknown role. Yeah, and from what I've read, Shang-Chi has worked alongside a few other martial artists, a few we know, which would be Iron Fist and Colleen Wing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so
this could be a good way to introduce a character like such into the MCU.
I think personally speaking, Iron Fist is great, you know, but I've had enough of Danny Rand after seeing those Netflix series. I can wait a couple years. That's just me, though. That's just me.
They would need a recast for that one.
Oh yeah, just tweak it a little bit, maybe.
Some actual story, yeah.
Yeah, don't get me started on
no magical guns and
Don't get me started on that fucking show.
ninja style.
Oh, the true one. So, that's coming out 2021. Next one, Doctor Strange, baby boy. It's been a while. I miss him. He's your favorite, really?
Favorite of the new series, I should say. He's my favorite out of the new batch we've got, aside from like Black Panther. I love Doctor Strange and how just
love him too.
He's just so laid back and like calm, but he's so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And I really hope they explore his abilities in this next film, because he's gonna have a great villain. We're gonna see Mordo come back indefinitely. It'd be foolish of them not to. And then, surprisingly, we're getting Scarlet Witch in this.
Yeah, really strange. Might even be some sort of crossover to show the Wanda and Vision that's going to be on Disney Plus, maybe.
I think they said it'll affect.
Oh,
yeah. The events of WandaVision, I think, will have an effect on it, if I'm not mistaken, because it comes out right before it.
Yeah, so it might even tie in, pair it up, you know, kind of thing like that. Yeah. That might explain why they're going to be together. But, yeah, so apparently this might be the MCU's first horror movie, which director is going to be taking a gothic, horror-themed approach to it, which I'm really happy about that. They've also announced a villain, and who is that grand old villain, Sly, my boy? Nightmare. He is the ruler of the dream dimension, and you also had a really interesting little theory about it yourself before we started recording here, and about a new character. They're going to be rebooting the series later on, maybe Phase 5-ish, maybe. So who do you think they're going to be dropping into this?
I have a weird prediction that this would be a really good chance for them, aside from introducing other future characters through this, because the title Multiverse, and then of course Madness is the part that I'm tying in, as well as the Nightmare realm. They've casted Mahershala Ali as the new Blade, and considering this is relating to Nightmare and him having control over the Splinter realm, the dream dimension, and like the Nightmare realm, that would work very well with some sort of, you know, Blade type character, or even like a Ghost Rider. It'd be pretty good for mainly Blade.
Ghost Rider, Punisher, Blade, like up that alley, really. Not sure about Punisher though, but yeah, like you said, Ghost Rider would be fantastic, and so would Blade. Be able to have those characters, that'd fit right into that gothic kind of more serious tone kind of a film there. But really excited for that one, because that just might be the most different out of everybody. And like I said, and like you said, you love Doctor Strange. I really enjoy him too. I wanted to see more of him in Infinity War. Yeah, I really enjoyed him in Infinity War. Yeah, really either. So a big Strange. Well, I'm sorry about that. Strange. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, 2021 release date. And our last film that has been announced for Phase 5, Sly, if you would.
Thor, Love and Thunder.
Yeah, baby. 4, you know, like 4. Thor 4, right here. This one is getting a bit of a twist here. It's
getting crazy, baby.
Yeah, someone's getting a new hammer, or someone's getting a hammer. Yeah, so they have announced. They've announced Mighty Thor and the return of Jane Foster, who's gonna be taking up old Mjolnir, perhaps, or maybe.
Perhaps.
I don't know. Yeah. Well,
some sort of hammer. She has to get a hammer.
She's got to get a hammer. Got to get one. Not a mallet one. I want Mjolnir in her hands, please.
Yeah.
So
worthiness.
Love the art of Thor: Love and Thunder. It looks great. It reminds me a lot of Thundercats, not only because Thunder's in there,
that's
but
exactly what I remember.
Yeah.
Reminded me of that.
So what's happening with Chris Hemsworth as Thor? Good old Odin's son, you know? What's going on with him during this?
Well, I'm happy with a few things. Taika Waititi's coming back to direct this, which means we could get some more Korg and Meek. Which,
I would
mean,
love it.
Me some Korg.
Ragnarok was a fucking banger. One of my favorite films.
It was a banger.
Yeah, one of my favorite films.
It revitalized his career. He was getting over Thor after Dark World.
Fuck, everyone was done with Thor.
This
like,
sucks.
yeah. I always thought of Thor as being a
Thor?
piece
This
of
is
shit. Yeah. So,
So
yeah, hit us up. What do you got?
So there's that. Obviously we've got a new Queen of Asgard, and she's recently tweeted out saying, you know, a king would typically need a queen. So
Ooh.
her being the queen, she, if I'm not mistaken, they've come out and said that Valkyrie is bi, so she's gonna need her own queen. So I don't know who she's gonna rope in. What sort of love interest? Maybe Mighty Thor will have a relationship with Valkyrie. I don't
That
know.
would
I'm
be
game.
really interesting. That'd be so interesting. I don't know if Jane Foster has ever leaned that way in previous films, which doesn't really matter if she has before. I mean, like, if they want to retcon those two films, do whatever the fuck you need in order to make this movie good, really.
Yeah, and I'm also wondering, with a few other things, James Gunn confirmed that Thor 4 will take place before Guardians 3.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
he's not going to be with the Guardians, yep. Also, I'm curious if Taika Waititi is going to try and find a way to rope in that Loki that may have got away.
Yes, because of the Biff time heist part with good old Iron Man and Ant-Man. I was really curious what they do with Loki now. So maybe I would love to see more Loki. Really love the cast of the Thor movies. I think they're exceptional. But yeah, now that Asgard has a new queen, like you said, things are looking really interesting. They could kind of go really anywhere. She could be looking for a new queen, like you said. But I'm really curious where Thor is going to be in this, because I really enjoy Chris Hemsworth. I don't think he necessarily needs to be in this film, but I kind of would like him to be, and I sort of low-key expect him as well. So,
Yes.
yeah. But
I'm curious whether they're going to introduce characters like Beta Ray Bill or Enchantress into Thor's film as well, because we need a.
Yeah.
And I frankly, I don't know who else they could bring in. I mean, they could really drop a dime on us, but it'd be reaching. They could bring in his brother Balder, but I mean, the fact that we've never heard of him, that's another surprise kid from Odin. That would be weird.
Beta
I
Ray
would
Bill
like
would
to
be
see
interesting.
Lady Sif return.
Yeah, I think I really would like to see Beta Ray Bill. Really would like to see him in there.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's a big please and thank you.
They've got a lot of potential with that film. Between that and Doctor Strange, the possibilities are limitless.
Yeah.
They could rope in almost anything.
Maybe.
I know that the Grandmaster's supposed to make a return, they've said.
Oh, that's great. More Goldblum. I would love that.
Yeah, I love me some Goldblum.
I loved him in Thor Ragnarok. He was great. It was great. That was such a great
His
movie.
orgies, it was awesome.
You were there? I thought I stepped in you earlier. Okay, so those are our 5 films of Phase 4, right?
Yeah, 5 films of Phase 4, baby.
All right, and now that Disney Plus is going to be coming out as well, we just kind of wanted to go over some of the shows they've announced. You know, really excited about some of these as well. Coming up first in 2020, it's going to be Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm so excited to see this this bro-op between these two guys. New Captain America shield and whatnot. I don't know if it's going to be taking place after Endgame. I kind of hope it is, because I want to see these top dogs. I want to see them step up and realize, like, now that Iron Man and Captain America are kind of done, Hulk may be done as well. He might be retired. These guys got to step up. You know, they got to fill some big-ass shoes. And, yeah, I just would like to see where they're heading with this.
We get a return of a villain that I personally probably was one of my favorite MCU villains.
Who's that?
Baron Zemo.
Baron Zemo. I would love a return for him, because I don't think he was done, you know, too well. I feel like he got a little buried, and I did like his intentions, though.
Book suit, actually.
That's great. I just wanted a little bit more Baron Zemo. I love Baron Zemo. I think he was great.
Yep.
Really like the actor that played him as well. Always playing a sneaky boy. But yeah,
Sneaky.
I don't know too much about that. You know, besides Falcon, he's got the Captain America shield now. Hopefully these two guys.
He's gonna need a new suit.
Yeah, he's gonna need a new suit. Really, yeah, just really excited to see where this is gonna go. Some brawl up adventures, because I think these probably aren't gonna be too long, episodic. little adventures, which I'm fine with.
Yeah, they're going to be relatively quick.
Which I'm totally fine with, you know. Anything else on Falcon and Winter Soldier?
To be honest, not much. There's not a lot to go off of yet. I think that's because they know that these are going to be so fast-paced, short series that they're not trying to give away too much because it'll kind of like ruin the whole thing.
Yeah, which I'm
So
completely
they're just
fine
trying to
with.
keep us lay in the air for now.
Yeah, honestly. In 2021, we have Wanda Vision. Is that, or is it Wanda and Vision?
WandaVision.
Okay, so Vision, who, you know, he's dead. He died in Infinity War. Thanos, you know, took the little stone from him. I wonder. So this has to take place before that, or he's somehow revived.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah, more Scarlet Witch, which is nice. It's always good to see her.
Yep, always looking forward to that. I'm happy that, you know, maybe we'll get to see how that ties into Doctor Strange. I really hope that eventually, whether it's, you know, in this phase or it's the next phase, I'd prefer if it's the next phase. I really want them to do a House of M series story arc for her. Because that's where she's, like, super powerful.
I mean,
like,
yeah, dude, like, her parents, like, I know they don't talk about it at all. They're not, at the time, they weren't allowed to. They said that she's dead, but for God's sakes, like, she's a daughter of a human. Like, she's got some amazing abilities and amazing powers that they have not tapped into, that MCU has not tapped into, but they really need to. They need to start, Elizabeth Olsen, right? I think that's the actress name. Yeah, they need to start, like, definitely going deep into that with maybe, like, the past couple films, she's kind of been distracted with love and loss because of Vision. Totally understandable, you know. Their dead brother, dead hubby, you know.
Pietro.
Yeah.
Yep.
R.I.P. that boyo. 2021, same year, we have Loki. Boy. I'm excited for this Loki. Good old Loki. You know,
I love me some Loki. Him and his mischief. Oh, I can't get enough.
You know, that the god of mischief. I love him. Thor's brother. Don't know what this is gonna be about. Like we said, Loki. You know, he was able to get away with the Tesseract, wasn't he?
Yes, we can infer that off of the font or the logo for the Loki series, since each letter of his name is written in a different font. He's going to be doing a lot of time travel.
I kind of hope
that Tesseract, and he's gonna hold on to it dearly.
I hope. What if it's just a straight up comedy of Loki? It's like, I'm gonna go fuck with these people in this like era of time, and then just like him just doing a bunch of shit like that. I'd be okay with it.
Maybe we'll finally see when he turned into a snake and fucked with Thor. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, just stuff like that, you know? I think that could be a good... I think Tom Hiddleston's great, and I think Loki can be a good comedic actor, too. What I missed about Ragnarok, I liked that so much, was the characters just interacting with each other, Thor and Loki. I thought it was funny. You know, I know they interacted before in previous Thor movies and stuff, but I just really liked how they were in Ragnarok, and I'm hoping, I don't think they'll get Chris Hemsworth for the show, because these guys are big-time actors, and I don't really see them doing episodic series. You know, I think that might be a little bit above their pay grade, you know, although it would be fantastic to see him. Have Marvel's What If series in 2021. What?
That is loaded with cast.
Yeah, can you break it down? What do you got for What If? Because I've got nothing. I'm running a big blank here.
Frankly, the What If series is entirely speculation. There are no rules, no punches are getting pulled. They can literally pull the cat out of the hat. The What If series, they could change reality in every sense. So if they want to potentially explore some of the possibilities of those other 14 million, you know, chances the Avengers had against, you know, Thanos, they could do that. Do they want to make Peggy Carter a different Captain America? They could do that. They could change anything, and that's what scares me the most about it. The only two A-list actors that aren't on it, I think, are Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. They've got virtually every other actor on it. There's like 23 of them.
I wonder if it's if they'll be recycling footage from other films or something. Maybe that's why, or maybe that it's gonna be a full-fledged show. Maybe they're going big on this, which really seems weird. You know, that they were gonna put so much money and pay these actors and not use, like, if you're gonna use Chris Hemsworth, it's gonna be in a goddamn Thor movie. You know, like, you want that thing to sell. But they may be going all out at the beginning of Disney Plus. Who knows? And
Yeah.
our final show is going to be Hawkeye in 2021. Finally.
Excited about this. We get more Ronin. Kevin Feige has confirmed we get to see more Ronin and the effects of what he did.
Nice. So maybe there's some vengeance on after his 5 years of mayhem and rampaging through
His
the
5 years of movie style.
of the crime world of Japan or wherever he
Mexico.
was. Yeah, South America, Mexico. Just killing mob bosses, yakuza gangs for many years, and maybe it's time for them to get a little bit revenge. They might want to hit him back now that he's got something to lose once again, which could be really
Yep, and
interesting.
he's going to be passing off the bow to Kate Bishop, the next Hawkeye.
Oh, so he's gonna stay Ronin then? I figured that he would give the Ronin, I guess, mask or title to somebody next because Yeah.
I know that Kevin Feige announced that they will be showing more of Ronin, so they're probably going to have flashback sequences, kind of similar to maybe the show Arrow. You know how they'd reference back to his time on the island. They'll probably do something like that with the Ronin. So we will get some awesome fights where we see him as a Ronin, which we were robbed of in Endgame. We really deserved more
Definitely.
Ronin screen time. So if they do that, they'll probably have the aftermath, because he kind of gave up on the Ronin thing quickly, so he'll just go back to being Hawkeye.
Yeah, so I don't know in the MCU if it's gonna be listed as I don't know if it's gonna be well, no matter what, Hawkeye will always be Ronin, or if they're actually gonna be well, the title is gonna be passed down to another person, or it's actually retired. We never know. We don't know how stuff's gonna work in the MCU. Totally different from comics, but we're just hypothetical kind of there. But yeah, so those are the things we have announced with release dates and whatnot. We also have a few other things that are confirmed. Sly, you want to hit us up with those?
A few things confirmed.
Yeah, after phase 4 perhaps.
Well, of course, the transitional period is going to be Blade, so we are stoked about that because I do love me some Blade, and I'm pleased to see maybe they'll have a Wesley Snipes cameo. Yeah, couldn't go wrong with that.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, we have announced that we will be getting Fantastic Four eventually.
I can't say that I'm too excited about it. Would love to see more Doom. I like Doom quite a bit. I think he's great.
Doom.
I like Silver Surfer. I like dang it.
Galactus.
Thank you. I was about to say, who's his boss? Thank you.
Who's that big guy that has a hunger?
Yeah. Who eats planets all the time?
Yeah. Darth Nihilus?
Good old Planet Eater. That's the name.
That guy.
Yeah.
Captain Planet. No.
Don Cheadle?
Recycle most.
We're going off rails. Off rails. What else we got?
X-Force is very possible. Hopefully, they don't call it that.
I would like them.
Frankly, I don't care if it's X-Men. I just want my X-Men. I want my Wolverine. I want my Cyclops. I actually want a good Cyclops.
Who are we casting as Wolverine?
I've heard rumors about Taron Egerton.
I've heard about that as well.
He's short, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if he has that intimidating factor to him.
Oh yeah. Would love Tom Hardy. Well, I will always say that. I would like him quite a bit. I really like Tom Hardy. Who else?
Then that makes you wonder about that Venom crossover that Sony has discussed.
Oh my God! Why did you just remind me of that? You just woke my brain up from a nightmare. Oh Lord.
It's very possible, though. I mean, you do have the fact that the Netflix series, obviously, people are still up in the air about whether they're now non-canon now that the Blade actor technically was playing Cottonmouth and Luke Cage.
Yeah.
We discussed it before we started this, actually. The contract deal that Netflix had with them to, what did you call it, for a 2-year?
No compete clause kind of thing like that.
Perfect. That. With the way that Spider-Man 3, or Spider-Man 2 left off, pardon me.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Far From Home, right?
Far From Home,
Yeah.
yes. There's very high possibility that they may introduce one of those Netflix characters in the next installment, because I'm actually surprised they didn't announce a few sequels for this series, like Black Panther or Captain Marvel.
Which
or
they have, yeah.
Spider-Man.
They've announced Captain Marvel 2 and Black Panther 2.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that they're not in this phase.
Yeah, which is really weird too. Yeah, because it's been a while since we've seen Black Panther. We honestly didn't get a lot of Captain Marvel or Black Panther in Endgame, which is a little disappointing because, you know, with these new actors and these new Avengers coming in, you kind of want to showcase them a little bit, you know, give a little people a nice craving, you know, which I definitely have. Yeah, I want to definitely see more of those heroes and them interacting with other Avengers and whatnot. But yeah, so at least we have those movies announced. I hope we get to see them, but then again, it's the next 2 years only that we have movies and stuff announced for, so more stuff probably on the horizon.
Oh yeah, we still gotta wait for Guardians 3 to come out.
That as well. Really excited.
Can't be focusing really on Rocket's story arc, if I'm not mistaken.
Would love to see that. Have you played the Guardians of the Galaxy game at all?
I have not.
Telltales. It's quite interesting. They actually do some flashback scenes to Rocket's origins. Quite sad. If they do that, yeah, I will be bawling in a dang theater if they do any of that stuff.
I'm not ready for it. Yeah.
No.
I have a feeling James Gunn is gonna just destroy the theater and everyone's.
Yeah. But anything else we have announced there?
I think we covered it all. If there's anything you're remembering, please don't hesitate.
Yes, correct us if we're wrong about anything, if we said anything by accident, or, you know, we're lying to you, please let us know down below in the comments, you guys. But I think that's going to be a wrap for our little Phase 4 kind of discussion. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like, you know, drop a comment. You know, it really helps out the Foundry channel. We have our own channels down below, of course, you guys can support that. Make sure to subscribe to the Foundry, you know, for more Marvel and comic book stuff. We recently did a react to the Watchmen trailer, if you guys want to see that. As well as the Foundry Patrons down there, if you guys want to check it out. Support us financially. We'd really appreciate it, you guys. All that money go towards the group for games, equipment, stuff like that, so we can make content for you guys. But we'll see you later on the next Foundry video.
Bye.